it's difficult deciding exactly when to strip out the summer flowering bedding to make way for the winter and spring bedding. And often you'll dig out geraniums which have quite a bit of flower, and then of course there are several options. If you cut off most of the soft green growth and just retain the fairly woody stuff, you can actually bury them, as long as you can remember where you buried them, and then lift them next March, April, and you'll find that the stems are still alive. They can be repotted and will grow again. The more common practice, of course, is to pot them on again. It's amazing how the original root ball stays intact, so that when you lift it you have got quite a bit of root, and then if you get a good sized pot, that'll just go in and it can be repotted. And somewhere that's pretty well frost free, conservatory or glass-sided porch, something like that, the plant's kept a bit on the dry side, they'll survive reasonably well. If we get a very cold winter, then they're certainly going to need a bit of heat. The more common practice, of course, is to take cuttings, and we're looking for a nice young shoot. That's quite a reasonable one there. If I can just get the leaves separated off, we can cut just below a leaf joint. Let me cut it off and show you. There we are. I don't want it to be too long, because over winter they will tend to stretch a bit, and so I would probably cut it just there and take off the leaf and the next leaf. And in addition, we take off what we call the stipules, these little tiny pieces here. If they're left on while you're trying to root them, the soft rot botrytis disease can settle on those stipules, and the cutting will rot. If there's a flower bud, then just snap that out. And so there we've got a very reasonable cutting. I might even take another leaf off. And then we need a mixture of seed and cutting compost and perlite is what I've got here. I'm using little square black plastic pots. I use these a lot for seed sowing and for taking cuttings. Makes me smile when people say that we shouldn't use black plastic. I've been using these for 50 years, so there isn't really a waste problem as far as these are concerned. But then once you've got your little cutting, that can be slipped in, and I'd probably prepare about 6 or 9. There's some that were prepared here a fortnight ago. I don't know how well they're rooted. Let's see if I can get them out. Yes, here we are. It's a bit early. They need another week or so just to produce a bit more root, and then they'll be ready to pot up into any of the universal potting composts and on a light windowsill, again kept on the dry side. This will provide some really nice material for next spring. This one, as it happens, is not the zonal geranium. This is one of the scented leaf kinds, and so as I brush past it on the windowsill, then I'll have that really nice lemon scented, in the case of this lemon scented pelargonium.